said we apologize for the internet. The signal is not as stable as we would like for it to be. So now what we're going to do is we're about to get into a clip that we're going to discuss here in the free game. Everybody just please bear with us with this internet signal. We want you guys to watch this clip, evaluate this clip as well as us, and then we're going to come back and talk about it in just a second. You know what I'm talking about? Free game.
Okay, give me another like really rancid story. One of the nastiest things you've ever done. Let's hear it.
I got peed on too.
Peed on?
Not bad. I didn't know what was happening. He just did it. He just like was
Bitch, please stay who?
Fuck Trey Songz. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He wants me.
How did he surprise pee on you? What?
Okay, so I go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom to wipe the nut off my face, like in between rounds. He follows me in there. He's like, get in the bathtub. I'm like, okay. So I do, and I'm like laying down. And he's standing over me, like jacking off, and he's like, play with your pussy. I'm like, okay. So I do, and then he's like, play with your tits. So I do, and then he literally just peed on me like that, and I was like, what the fuck on my eyelashes? And he's like, you're fine, and I was like,
you're fine. How many rounds has Trey Songz gotten him?
Oh, 5 million.
Really?
Yes. When I left, there was a pile of condoms on the ground. I was like, whoa, I don't even.
He wore a condom every time?
Yeah.
Holy
Thank God.
shit, this guy's got an invincible
Did you
cock,
know
huh?
how you told me?
What?
I wish she wasn't as nervous, but I'm not gonna make her go alone.
He already got mad at me for like talking about it, but I don't give a fuck.
Who cares, bitch?
Trey.
Just don't ever see him.
Terry?
No, Trey. But every bitch I know that has fucked him says the same shit. Like,
that he pees on him?
Yeah,
I think
and
his
he's
kid.
psycho. Like he took my phone and my purse away for like a whole day, held it over the balcony, was like, bitch, if you try and leave, I'm gonna drop this shit. I'm like,
But y'all didn't want to believe me. Okay.
And he's
he
just.
did the same thing to her. Like he just does the same shit.
Yeah.
He's like weird.
But so he keeps you in a hotel room for this long, and he's just fucking you like a million times?
Yeah, and I kept asking like, when can I leave? What time is it? And he like just wouldn't answer. He would just fucking ignore me, and I'm like, okay. And then he was like, you can leave when I go like to my flight. And I was like, okay, when's that? Wouldn't tell me. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
So that means they can hear
For
it.
the ones who did catch the clip and caught the audio to the clip, what they were talking about, where they were talking about Trey Songz, and the young lady was describing her experience that she just recently had with him. Apparently, he flew her out. He had her in a hotel room for a couple of days. They had intercourse, consensual intercourse, roughly. She got peed on, and now she's telling about it. So,
and also he wouldn't let her leave too.
He took a phone, he took a purse, he held it over the balcony. Oh my goodness, it's just a hot mess.
Well, the reason why we're even discussing it is because this could be career-ending kind of accusations. You know what I mean? But there's been women who previously come forth and said Trey Songz has been manhandling women out here in these streets, and then you got two bops that just don't care what they say, what come out their mouth, telling you what happened. Like, like this nigga just peed on me. Like, what? That's a whole story now. She's gonna tell for the rest of her life, like how that man just peed on her like that.
She's celebrating it.
She most definitely is, because I mean,
I don't know who could celebrate getting peed on.
But
Beyonce pisses on me. No,
he's so crazy. Yeah. I'm not gonna play with him, but to a certain extent, she is celebrating it because if you listen to her friend in the background, she said, "I told you," and she still went and she still did it. And
her friend was urging her to tell the whole thing. You know
right.
What I'm saying? So
she knew exactly what she was getting herself into. Now, as far as Trey Songz, I would definitely advise him to get some better people on his team, because things like that don't need to be getting out. But it just depends on, because sometimes you got the celebrities who aren't getting enough attention and who aren't in the news enough, so they put certain things out to bring more attention to them. Now, these whole sex video scandals and the whole talking about what goes on in the bedroom could go either way. In majority of the cases, it has brought people's value up, because nobody was checking. Yeah, nobody was checking for Kim Kardashian before that sex tape.
Of course not.
So nobody was really checking for Mimi before that sex tape. But there are a few people who have put out sex tapes who it's brought their property value down. It's crazy.
But isn't this something that will bring his property value down? Do you feel like these accusations, amongst other accusations and police reports, do you feel like this will bring...
It also depends on where he's at mentally with his career, because sometimes artists also do things to get out of contracts, and you can only get out of a real deal contract by being super duper faulty.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where he's at mentally and where he's at in his life, because come on now, think about Trey Songz.
Well, see, that's what they're saying. The point is that people feel like he is not a person that is capable of these things he's being accused of. You know what I'm saying? So when do you reach out to your brother? Because I know that he looks exactly like somebody that could be into these kind of things. So what I'm saying is, when you reach out and say, hey, brother, you kind of need to check yourself. You know what I mean? Find somebody who's down for the play instead of just trying to convert. You know what I mean? Because your name too big. You know what I mean? If you was just Leroy in the street, you out here peeing on females, you know what I mean? They get it in, Leroy. But I'm saying you was Trey Songz in the public eye. You know what I mean?
100,000% knew what she was getting herself into.
Exactly.
And she's probably not, he's not the only one that she does that with. This is probably her thing.
Exactly. Which brings me to my point.
What's your point?
Get ready, Smoke Break. We finna crack some knuckles, because I'm about to do some shaming and some game laying. You know what I'm talking about? First of all, if you're a fan of Trey Songz, if you listen to his music, he lets you know he's with all of that shit. Okay? If you ever heard the song Walls, I think it's on the Who This May Concern project. If you listen to that project and you listen to the song Walls, he talks about all that shit. He likes spitting in bitches' mouths and sticking his fingers in their throat and all kind of stuff. He's letting you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, for two, these ain't normal women. These ain't off the street that work at Popeye's women.
They definitely don't.
These is porn stars / hookers.
Right.
And they was doing some hooking.
Right.
Now, not to say that because you're a porn star that you are a hooker, but you was hooking. I'm pretty sure you just didn't, Trey Songz probably told you what he was finna do. And you was like, you can't handle this. And guess what? It went down. And I know if I spend $40,000 on a hooker, because I know you're a professional lady and you cost a little bit, I'm going to get my money worth. You ain't finna just leave.
Well, 40,000.
Yeah, think about it. Man, what you think these porn stars be charging?
Because look how proud she was to tell the story.
Yeah.
That's not no story you just openly tell at, random dinner. And that's not even dinner. They're talking about it over a podcast. You got thousands and thousands of people watching.
Yeah.
And listening.
And they have to be somebody to even make it to that podcast.
Right.
So this is normal for you.
Right.
She wasn't even fazed by the pee part. She was more fazed by the being held hostage by the
taking her
thing.
phone
Yeah.
and
It seemed like she was more fazed by the pee hitting her lashes than anything else.
It hit my lashes. You'll be okay.
He said, "You'll be alright."
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
You'll be okay.
Yeah. But she will be.
I'm just saying. I mean,
it's crazy.
If he spent a good dollar, and I know he did, he didn't let her walk out of there with nothing.
But what they saying is they go for free. They just go for the thrill of chasing rappers.
But that's their lifestyle, though. Mm-hmm. So that's the stuff
getting
that they like.
Out. They like getting flued out.
Huh?
That's what they be on. That's what they be on.
Flued out.
They be on getting flued out.
And that's the definition of being flued out, in case you didn't know what that meant. They like getting flued out.
You know what I'm saying? And they just like, they don't care. All they want is the D.
That's crazy.
That's literally what she said.
So
if you look at that interview on No Jumper, that's literally what she said.
That is so crazy.
She's like, I don't care if you got a woman, whether you got whatever. I just want the D. That's it. People be lying. I don't want no man. I don't want, because they be lying and blah, blah, blah. And I think half the rappers are gay.
So I stand
That's
for my
what she
dog.
said.
I stand for my dog Trey Songz. Unless he putting his hands on women or anything like that, there's nothing wrong with a little rough house dick down. There's nothing wrong with that. Nigga like to do some choking and do some smoking.
That's what I said, but find somebody who's down for that. You know what I'm saying?
But do you honestly believe she couldn't just leave the room?
Yeah, I do.
I believe it too.
I believe that.
Because when you in that mode, you in that mode. But somebody got to make you feel...
she just didn't want to leave without her phone.
But I feel like somebody got to make you feel comfortable enough to get into that mode, though. You know what I'm saying?
Also, on the flip side, what was going on that made him take her phone? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling, because look at what she's doing. She's probably taking pictures or, doing something inappropriate.
running from it. That's what she was doing.
Yeah. That's probably what it was.
Trust me, she ain't running from shit. She can handle it.
You heard how many condoms he used.
She can handle it.
Yeah.
She alright.
Yeah, well then she can handle it. She alright then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, no. Let me back
switched
up.
from
She's
AT&T
not
to
alright. She's not alright.
I don't want to say
But-
women. Women do
right.
not go through abuse.
But there's
to be
nothing
a
wrong with
part of.
women. You know. Okay, so look.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong
She's
with
the type of
exploring.
female that likes to have a lot of sex. There's nothing wrong with having a lot of sex.
Exactly.
So
It was like, exactly what I've been saying this whole time. There's nothing wrong.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. If you spend your money right, I'm getting my money worse.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, we don't. Cause he spent racks on that.
So
She not fucking for free.
So
I don't even care what she say. She could tell me to my face. I went in there and did that shit for free.
So is it time to pull his coattails or just let him live his life? Where we at with it?
I'm
Do
gonna
we
tell
feel
him.
like-
I'm gonna pull his coattail about being a little bit more strict about them MDAs that people have to sign, them affidavits that make people silence themselves about sexual
baby.
activity and them being in your house and stuff like that. I just lay down the law on that. But she's obviously gonna gain some points for this.
because
There's
look
no
how
such thing as
openly
bad
she
publicity.
is discussing it with her friend who's already admitted to sleeping with Trey Songz. Like, what kind of friends are y'all? So this is what she do. This is what she like.
That's what she loves.
And she probably went and did that just to have a story to tell.
And it's Trey Songz. If Trey Songz walk up to you and tell you some shit, and you're one
I
of
don't
those,
know. I
and
might
you one of those females. No, I'm saying, you one of those kind of females.
Okay, yeah. Because you got to be one of them kind of females.
Yeah.
Because me, myself, I can't leave Trey not for my man, not for my baby.
Okay, go ahead, girl.
He
Stand
ain't-
by your man.
Yeah, he ain't worth it.
Stand by your man.
He ain't worth it.
Nah, he's not. He ain't worth it.
That's
You know,
good to hear, though.
ain't nobody got time for no weekend fling to ruin no years of building. Hell nah, man, get out of here.